say, past is history, future is mystery, and the present is a gift. That's why it's called the present. So, but the thing is, I agree with you. There is no time in the universe. It's something that it's made by us in order to lead our terrestrial life here.
Yes.
We have to look at the oneness of all things, all creatures, including past, present, and future. So there's not such a thing as past lives. I would call them parallel lives.
Good. This is closer to where I'm processing at this point.
So it doesn't matter. The important thing is to be able to watch or to witness that huge panorama of lifetimes that you have alone and with your soulmates. And in my view, I talked to Sheila MacLaine at one time, and she read my books.
With you, probably ran it through at the gym or something.
She read my books. She likes. Well, she read, but anyway, she was telling me that she believes in soulmates, and she wrote books about that. So I composed a song about that, and she liked it. That basically we're here to rehearse with our earthly soulmates in order to prepare ourselves for higher vibrations of being one with that high self once we're unblocked. Okay? So, and day by day is going by, and you and I, we say goodbye. And this is always my refrain. Until my love, we meet again. And so forth. But the
beautiful.
thing is, thank you. So it's, we are looking for a soulmate. And I gave a speech yesterday to a young group, and they were asking, how do I find a soulmate? Dr. Finkelstein, can you hypnotize me so I can attract the right one? So I say, why do you worry? I mean, being single is fine. I mean, you can get out from both sides of the bed. So
but you don't want to.
Anyway.
Good story.
Well, and yet at the same time, it's not even off planet. We are bringing more of our divine natures here into this thing. I mean, this is the exciting thing that's going on in this planet in the last 20 or 30 years is the multi-dimensionality of human beings is being accepted, is being invited in, and is pouring through. I mean, to me, this is a classical discipline as far as the new mind and thought research goes. Hypnosis really is one of the old disciplines. How do you see hypnosis bleeding into areas like The Secret, affirmations? Here's a question here. It's a comedy question. Is Karl Rove a licensed hypnotherapist? Or should we prosecute him for practicing without a license? This man has hypnotized the United States into believing that we have a president for 8 years now. So, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is, how do you see it moving into some of the broad, very popular themes that are starting to come in now as the general populace awakens and starts to look at manipulating thought, carving thought, your mind over matter, your thesis back from college. Bunny, how about you?
I had a situation with The Secret. I had an opportunity to speak to Jack Canfield up in Santa Barbara.
Right, up the road from you.
Pardon me?
He's up the road from you.
Yes,
30
yes.
or 40.
And I have a number of friends who are authors, and I usually end up going to the writers' conference every year, or at least part of it. And he was there at one of the parties, and I went up to him and I complimented him on The Secret. And he said, which totally stunned me, he said, "Oh, yeah, that was a really fun project. I was expecting, it changed my life. I'm so happy to have been part of this, this magnificent movement." But it was like, oh, it was a good project. It was a fun project. And I got thinking about the Secret. And it did change a lot of people's lives, but it didn't go far enough, and you may have your thoughts on this too. I believe that you attract what you put out. I believe that if you have positive energy, you attract more positive energy. If you have negative energy, you attract more negativity. However, I think there's a place that it stops. Does a 6-year-old child, attract cancer? I don't go for it. I'm not buying that. do we attract tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, and other natural disasters? I'm sorry, I don't think we do. My own opinion. I could be right or wrong.
Right. No, there is
I don't
no
know,
right or wrong.
but I think the Secret did a great, served a great purpose in letting people know that what you put out in the world is usually what you get back, but it isn't always. And I think they went a little too far,
Okay.
or people took it a little too seriously.
How, and okay, that's
And
your
I
opinion.
think that
on
Dr. Finkelstein has a
Okay, I
response,
just
too.
wanted to just 1 second. But now go back to, besides the Secret, in other words, just in general, how does the Secret process relate to hypnosis or suggestions or the laying in of suggestibility? Is there a tie-in to you, or?
Oh, absolutely. It's the subconscious mind.
Okay.
Whatever we put in our subconscious mind becomes our reality.
Right.
Now, the difference between hypnosis, guided hypnosis, is that there's a suggestion put in there. A suggestion which might be, past life regression. It might be quit smoking. It might be, but it's a suggestion that
Okay.
most of us don't do ourselves. Most of us can put ourselves into that self-hypnosis place, like when you get in the car and you miss your turn off or your exit, and you think, oh my God, I'm 20 minutes down the road.
Right.
That's a place of self-hypnosis in a real general explanation. But there's no suggestion there. It's not telling you to change behavior, but it's a start. It's the beginning of, it lets people know what to expect,
Okay.
what the feeling is. Now take it one step further, put in a suggestion or guidance, and then you've got, the power of hypnosis.
Right. Okay. Sorry, doctor.
From a therapeutic standpoint, The Secret is a nice work, I would agree, but it's only one step. There are several steps before that have to be addressed, especially the blocks, the emotional blocks from this and other lifetimes that haven't been addressed. And the subconscious may not know about. Consciously we know we have to be positive, but subconsciously we act differently. So I want to have a bike the next day, but I'm not having it, as they show in the DVD. To give you an example, a middle-aged lady, was very much hating her neighbor foe. And I advised her under hypnosis to stop doing that and to make peace with
Stop doing
her
that, right?
and extend love to her. And she partially succeeded because
Right.
she calls me and she tells me, Dr. Finkelstein, I followed your advice. I made peace with my neighbor foe, and she used to have constipation, by the way. So, and my constipation cleared.
Holding it in. Holding it in.
But now I have diarrhea.
I just saw a whole line of products with Dr. Finkelstein's diarrhea powder.
So what I'm saying is that the Secret may tell you there's no constipation, but the subconscious says, oh, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the opposite.
But there is a point where you're overriding, where you're coming in and you're giving suggestion to override the subconscious, so there can be a breakthrough, that something can happen. I mean, to a certain degree, there are certain issues that Audrey's repatterned already since she had her session. You could have said, but wait
And
a
we'll
second,
continue
that's
to.
never going to happen. And right, exactly, we'll continue to. So there is a certain level where we do intercede and change the thing. I mean, there's a whole theory that, the world's full of karma until you stop thinking there's karma, and then it's just an issue of alignment. So it's either a what are plants they grow up? Hydroponic. Either that consciousness is hydroponic or it's karmic in nature. In other words, we're either like downloading or uploading. And it depends on the belief system that you're in, and suddenly you switch from one to another. So to me, that your work with Audrey this morning freed her from a certain type of patterning, that every time she saw something in her chest she would feel bad. She's suddenly on a different track at this point. And I think that if people are open enough to believe that this works and can work if one wants to go there, but there are other ways to do it, hydroponic ways to do it, and I think that potentiality
And I
has to
can
be
add
embraced.
something.